Thank you. As I indicated earlier on, it's a learning lesson. We want to know, since we are climate change thematic committee, we want to understand who is Geo Pomona, what operations should do, how can you school us, so that as we carry on our mandate here of oversight, legislative, we want to have facts, not pick information from the streets. So it's really your day to brief us about who you are and what you stand for. And of course, we are not forgetting the issue of waste management and climate change married together. So over to you.
Okay, once again, good afternoon, honorables.
Good afternoon.
Let me start by giving you a brief background about Geo Pomona Waste Management. Geo Pomona Waste Management Company was established in April 2022 under a joint venture concession agreement with the city of Harare. The project was granted national project status by the government of Zimbabwe because of its interest, national interest, and was guaranteed by the government of Zimbabwe. In terms of infrastructure development, so far Geo Pomona has made a lot of infrastructure development in the site, which include the construction of way bridges. The purpose of way bridge is to make sure we measure all the waste come from the residents and show transitability to all our stakeholders. As we are aware that our construction agreement with the city of Harare and government, end of the day, end of the month, we need also to show transparent. We made also other infrastructure development, which includes the construction of roads. Before, when we took over from the city of Harare, there were no access roads from the dump site. The place was toxic. It was an unlivable place, but we transformed the place to become a livable place. So now the access roads, every trucks comes from town, everywhere, they have access to come and dump, and the place is now a 24-hour facility. You can dump during the day, during the night. We did what you call encapsulation. Encapsulation is to deal with waste which was there for decades by covering the geomembrane, geotextile, so that we prevent the issue of emission gases and the spread of odor, permanent spread of fire. We did what you call the construction of water treatment plant. The construction of water treatment plant is to do with leachate water. Waste produce leachate. So water comes from waste is a contaminated water. The purpose of the water treatment plant is to make sure the water is being cleaned, and some of the water will be used for irrigating, and some of it will be used for our waste energy plant, which is going to be built at the site. We're the biggest sorting plant in the Southern Africa. The sorting plant has a capacity of receiving more than 1,080 tons of waste a day. With a batch plant, the purpose of batch plant is to make sure that we have enough concrete. The concrete price is very high, so we said let's have our own batch plant so that we manufacture our own concrete. We have engineered landfills. These are the only engineered landfills here in Zimbabwe so far for hazardous, for liquid and solid. These two hazardous engineered landfills. Before, we used to dump hazardous landfills to Eastern Museum, Golden Quarry. But when we took over from City of Harare, they said, okay, can you please at least do some engineered landfill so that we dump our hazardous waste. We have a sports facility. The purpose of sports facility is to give back to the community. The best sports facility, we have a FIFA certified football pitch, which is the only one in Zimbabwe. Was built in a dump site and certified by FIFA in a dump site. This is the only football pitch certified by FIFA in a dump site. We have state-of-the-art restaurant in a dump site. The purpose of this restaurant is just to show that we transform the place to become now a livable place. Remember, a Pomona dump site used to be an isolated place. No one wanted to live there. It was a place where people avoided, but now it is now a livable place. In terms of employment growth, Geo Pomona is more than 1,200 employees. We started 2022 with a number of 6. So we are seeing the growth is big for the period from 2022 to 2026. We're also into waste collection. We signed the contract with the local government November 2024 for waste collection. Before, City of Harare used to collect waste, but they failed to bring the quantity of waste which we want daily. So we go to the government to say, we have a capacity to do waste collection, and we signed the contract with the local government. And after that, we started in February by clearing illegal dump sites. In terms of clearing illegal dump sites, Geo Pomona has collected more than 320,000 tons from illegal dump site. Door-to-door waste collection, we collected more than 70,000 tons using our compactor trucks. Okay. Lot of fleet, which includes the compactor trucks, key beans trucks, sweeper trucks, front loader trucks, and tipper trucks to collect the waste in Harare. All what I said was done by our local engineers. If you are seeing these as Zimbabwean, it's always our president says Zimbabwe built by its own people. These are local engineers who are running the dump site, who are managing everything at the dump site. In terms of giving back to the community, we hope a lot of people from schools who are paying school fees. We are also allowed them to use our sports facilities because it's a way of our corporate social responsibility. So before I close, I think I'll play a video of before and after so that you see the transformation which we have done so far at Geo Pomona Waste Management Facility. Thank you. There's no sound. I think this is Someone's going from where?
How do you feel about it?
Oh, okay. Take your microphone, what up as speaker. And this. What is there?
Harare, the vibrant heart of Zimbabwe, has long faced the challenge of managing its waste. For years, the city's waste management was a struggle, leading to the infamous Pomona dump site. This is the story of Geo Pomona Waste Management Private Limited, an innovative waste management solutions company, and our transformative journey from chaos to sustainability. The Pomona dump site, once a symbol of neglect and environmental degradation, was a far cry from the clean and green city it aspired to be. The site was uncontrolled, hazardous, and an eyesore for our city. It was a challenging time as the site became home to squatters who lived off the refuse. Air, ground, and land pollution were rampant. There were uncontrolled fires. We knew something had to be done. In a bold move towards change, the management of the Pomona dump site was transferred from the city of Harare to Geo Pomona Waste Management Private Limited, transforming it from a municipal entity into a privately owned national project in April 2022. Today, Geo Pomona Waste Management Private Limited stands as a testament to innovation and progress. The once chaotic dump site has been transformed into a model of modern waste management.
Hello all, our vision is to be Southern Africa's first, best and most efficient waste management and power generation project, setting the standard for private-public partnership in the provision for a better and more sustainable life for all citizens. Our mission is to operate a world-class, internationally rated waste management and power generation enterprise. We will collaborate and partner with our diverse stakeholders to ensure sustainable and long-term benefits for all communities and generations to come.
We have also introduced critical infrastructure improvements. It all started with the road construction for access to the dump site. We implemented a comprehensive security system to safeguard the site from unauthorized access. Road lights were put up to ensure optimal visibility as we are open 24 hours. Electrical lines were installed to supply power for operations. A concrete batch plant was constructed for our operations. A weigh bridge was installed to ensure we accurately capture how much waste we are receiving and where it is coming from. We have utilized the best practice of dealing with already existing waste, which had accumulated for decades, to a process called encapsulation. This process helps to restrict greenhouse gas emissions produced by waste from escaping into the atmosphere. The recreational facilities will provide much-needed green spaces for families, turning a former wasteland into a community hub. But Geo Pomona Waste Management Private Limited is not stopping there. The future holds even greater promise with a goal to implement the waste-to-energy plant cutting-edge technology that will convert waste into a sustainable source of electricity with a supply of 16 to 22 megawatts of electricity to the national grid. This will not only reduce the environmental impact of waste, but also provide a renewable energy source for Harare. This pioneering initiative aims to position Geo Pomona Waste Management Private Limited at the forefront of sustainable waste management, ensuring that the waste of today powers the city of tomorrow. The construction of a sorting plant is being done to perform a selection of incoming waste in respect to the hierarchy of waste management, which also adopts the zero waste to landfill policy. We have constructed the first hazardous waste landfills in Harare to ensure proper disposal of dangerous waste. A water treatment system is now in place. The water pools are being constructed to treat leachate produced by all the new landfills. The journey from a neglected dump site to a beacon of innovation and sustainability exemplifies what can be achieved with vision, dedication, and cutting-edge technology. As we look to the future, we're not just managing waste, we are transforming it into wealth for the entire nation. Geo Pomona Waste Management Private Limited, we are here to protect our tomorrow.
So this is the video before and after. The place used to be home of squatters. More than 1,000 families used to stay there, but some of them, they were taken by the government to a safer place, and some of them, they are now working in Geo Pomona Waste Management Facility. I think
we usually see vana vaitwa dumped madump sites. Hamuna kumbosangana nemafitas. It's off record.
no, we were experienced, I think 2 weeks ago, I had shakiri pattern correction malala. Like I don't know, but Chaka, she's a to police. Kawai can take off. Lakini jamba murera bana. Tunawasa kuta physics. Kuna akili za pesa.
Thank you, Dr. Chair, for an amazing presentation before and after. Yeah, I think a lot of us had the negative effects. I think there's a year where it was almost 2 months, fire and smelling, and it could not be stopped for a long time. So, yes, you guys know when Chico gets going, honorables, we go ahead and see. Smith was the one sure you would want to see the Chowadi zvataona apa ndizvo here. At some point at least we know a little bit about Geo Pomona. Are there any questions or clarifications from the team members?
Yes, ma'am. I have a bit of background knowledge of how you started. When we started, I was a consultant of the Ministry of Local Government. And there were pushes and branches and what have you. And Minister Dilesh Nguwaya, vachinzi vakakoraptiwa, and so on and so forth. But I would want to thank you for persisting, and also for Minister Dilesh Nguwaya to be hard on the local authority, which was resisting the right things. I would want to know from you, Doctor, how eventually you managed to convince the mayor of Harare and his team. Behind the scenes, I tried to give them a little bit of knowledge, technical and administrative, and they were so difficult in making sure that the project succeeds. And now, looking at the dump trucks all over Harare and passing through the Pomona dam site, I think the city of Harare is now proud of what is happening. How did you manage to convince them before I go to my climate issue?
It's a good question. How we manage to convince them through hard working, tenacity, resilience. As I said, the places to be avoided place. Through our local engineer, we said, let's demonstrate to the people of Zimbabwe how waste can be managed. And then they will see themselves by the good work which has been happening at the site. By doing so, we might to transform to remove all the waste. Remember I said we did what you call encapsulation. The place used to experience a lot of fire, odors, smelling everywhere. So the purpose of encapsulation is to make sure that we reduce the smell, we reduce the permanent spread of fire, we reduce the permanent spread of waste. By doing so, we do what we call mining waste. Marara ese akamainwa kubva painga ari kusvika tasvika pastage yekuti tokwanisa kuita construction. Besides that, remember Pomona dam site, marara are all over, more than 10 meters high, west. But we also managed to remove those waste to do what again called encapsulation. By doing so, we did what you call encapsulate engineered landfills. Kuti nzvimbo isanhu. So mukushanda pataita mabasa akanaka aimbooneka kusvika city of Harare zvinhu zvataitadza makore esaya zvaitwa neGeo Pomona within 2 years. Pekutanga gore kutanga zvainetsa. We called corrupt people. Especially you. Myself, I've given a name called devilish. It means I'm a devil because I'm trying to transform the city to become a livable place. Waste are now being collected because of the effort of the resilience of the genius. Because people of Zimbabwe did not understand how to manage waste. What is waste? How do you manage waste? If you go outside the country, Europe or other country in Asia, they have a way of managing waste properly. So when I come with the proposal, you say, how can I pay my own money? You are causing problem with the environment by burning waste. But as we want to manage waste properly, and now we are seeing we provide a lot of trucks, waste are being collected every day. Never happened for the past 3 days. We are seeing the transformation. People are now living in a good environment. This year, we never experienced cholera cases in Zimbabwe because Geo Pomona is collecting waste. People are living in a cleaner environment. So, City of Harare, they admit that we have a capacity to manage the dump site, collect waste. Mabasa akanaka angotaura ega. So kuna kwa mrukuta mabasa Geo Pomona adukura pamusoro pereserve kushedzera anongoonekwa mabasa akanaka tikuita. Ndifunga mese vamwe vanogara muHarare mararamo ekore kutakura zvasingamboitiki makore ese. Matrucks akufamba daily. Kana kune nzvimbo dzachisi kutakura tiudzei basa rese Geo Pomona is our mandate to make sure Harare is clean. And as Geo Pomona will continue to save the nation by cleaning, by bringing good environment to the people of Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Supplementary.
Maybe before we proceed, we've been joined by another member of the committee who is going to introduce himself. At the moment, because of CAP 3, there are many committees which are normally not there, verifying what we found out when we went out for public hearings. So, and the new member, Honorable, may you introduce yourself to Geo Pomona, a team led by the chairman, Dr. Nguwaya.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, Chair, I drove from Lawaya. My son was feeling well, and apologies to the committee and our guest. My name is Sengezo Shabango, a member of SEMNET, representing Maternal North, and also a member of this committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You may proceed.
You wanted to follow up.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. First, I would like to appreciate the good work that you are doing. But as the previous Honorable had asked about how you managed to convince the mayor of Harare, I thought I would also need to understand better the justification from the transition from the responsibility of the city of Harare to Geo Pomona. It's not a secret that, as you have already alluded to, that it has been there was a public outcry as to why you had undertaken that very good project. But up to now, to the common person in the street now, he or she is not aware of the justifications, because Harare is the capital city of the country. And does it mean that Harare had no capacity to take out or it was sheer incompetence from the city? Thank you.
Yes, as I said, before City of Harare failed to collect waste from the residents. It's not a secret. They don't have the capacity. In terms of the benefits, waste management employees from City of Harare, they are now on secondment to Geo Pomona Waste Management. Took more than 600 employees from City of Harare. They are working under Geo Pomona, so that the transformation will be clear and will be smooth.
Okay. Let me now go back to initially both the previous speaker and myself who were trying to talk politics. Because we know what happened behind the scenes. But let me come back to why this committee is asking you to come. What is the impact of your work on the issue of climate change? Because there were dump sites in every street, everywhere in Harare. It doesn't matter where you went. And as you know, where some rot is taking place, there are emissions of various gases that take place. What is the impact now of the work that we all see as very good work being done by Geo Pomona?
Okay, good afternoon once again, honorable members. I think we know for the record that at one point in Harare, His Excellency declared a national disaster in waste management. It means there was a disaster. We had illegal dams everywhere, as we've said, mushrooming illegal dams. As the organic waste decomposes, there was production of methane gases, nitrates, sulfides, and these we classify them as ozone gases. And they translate to a negative impact through climate change. So by Geo Pomona coming in now, we have moved a lot of these tons to the dump site, where we have introduced a capping system which we call encapsulation. And that then reduces the emission of these ozone gases. That means that we have taken away the negative externalities caused by emissions of these methane gases. I thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I would like to say thumbs up to Geo Pomona. You really did a great job. My question again is on climate impact emissions. To what extent does the current waste management model at Geo Pomona align with Zimbabwe's national determined contributions, NDCs, on emissions and reduction? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Senators. So, if I get your question correctly, you're asking to what extent does the current waste management model at Geo Pomona align with Zimbabwe indices on emission reduction? So, Geo Pomona's model really aligns with Zimbabwe indices primarily through methane reduction and waste to energy deployment, which are explicitly recognize mitigation pathways. So maybe just to clarify and explain on how this encapsulation that you're talking about, through clearing of illegal dump sites that has come to our waste management facility, as well as the waste that was being dumped at the Pomona dump site for 20 years and not being managed. Just like it has been alluded before, the waste has been centralized on one place. After centralizing the place, we covered that waste with what we call geomembrane. So this geomembrane, it's inert and it's impermeable. So what it does not allow anything to pass through it. So the decomposition of waste generating greenhouse gases such as methane, such as the nitrous oxide, the sulfur oxide, the hydrogen sulfide, all the greenhouse gases, what it means is they no longer escape into the environment. That's how we are actually reducing the effects of climate change as well as global warming. Thank you.
Can you repeat the name of the material we are using to cover the rubbish?
All right, so let me explain again. So after we centralized all the waste that was dumped at Pomona, we first of all compact the waste. After compaction of the waste, we lay firstly we lay a 2 centimeter layer of soil just to make sure that the profile of the waste is smooth, because remember the waste that is coming to the site is mixed. There's bottles, there is metals, etc. So we put a 2 centimeter layer just to make sure that the profile is smooth of soil. After that layer of soil, we then layer a geomembrane. This geomembrane is an HDPE plastic around 2.5 millimeters thick. It's inert and it's impermeable. After we layer that geomembrane, which we call actually the main actor of the encapsulation, because like I've explained, it does not allow any gas to pass through it. Then after that geomembrane, because by any chance you don't want the geomembrane to be punctured, because if it gets punctured, it means that these gases now find a way out into the atmosphere. So after that geomembrane, we layer what we call a geotextile. It's basically to protect this geomembrane. After the geotextile, we layer a 1 meter layer of soil, whereafter we plant vegetation on top, that is lawn on top of it, to put some flowers, etc. So that is how we have managed the existing waste to actually reduce the emissions resulting in climate change and global warming. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe on a point of some clarification, we've been talking of trapping methane. Then after trapping it, what are you going to do? Are you going to, what else are you going to do with that membrane that is trapped, or else you are waiting for one day that that membrane is going to be broken, then it escapes again into the atmosphere?
Thank you, Senator. So I can say that we are still in the building phase. But if you look at our project proposal, after organic encapsulation, we have a landfill gas collection system. We will collect all the gases through the system, and we have to carry out a proper analysis to see the composition of methane, the composition of carbon dioxide. If we found that we have less percentage of methane, that means that that gas is of no economic value. So what do? We try to minimize the methane effect by flaring the methane to produce carbon dioxide. Of record, methane is 28 times effect to the ozone compared to carbon dioxide. So when that percentage is low, we just flare the methane gas. After we collected it, then we have carbon dioxide being produced. Thank you.
Any other comments or contributions? Maybe whilst the members are thinking or pondering, I just said a simple one. Are there any carbon offset or carbon credit mechanisms associated with this project?
Thank you, Honorable Senator, for the question. So yes, Geo Pomona has started the journey of acquiring carbon credits. We have a company that we are working with that is doing the project for us, and we have actually registered the project with Sigma. And the project, if you check online on Sigma, it's there. So we have started the journey of carbon credits.
We want to welcome two members who joined us. As I said, we are dealing with CAP 3, and fortunately ours was in the morning. So members had to go and make sure they conclude. And may you introduce yourselves, honorable members.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Please. Mike.
Good afternoon, everybody. You meet Senator Muhati from Makerere, so based in Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Senator Katumba Miriam from Harare.
Thank you. You may proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Chair. I wanted to ask you about the role of the local authorities and the community at large. What role are they playing in monitoring the project? Are you in any way working together or interrelating?
Yes, they are monitoring the project through liaison committee. With a liaison committee for Geo Pomona in the city of Harare, where we sit, I think, monthly or after 2 months to check the progress of the project.
My question is like I want some clarification from Dr. Nguwaya. When he was explaining, he was talking of some partnerships between the city of Harare government and Geo Pomona. Can you really clarify maybe the shares between the partnership?
It's a private, it's a PP project where city of Harare give us a dump site, manage the dump site for the next 30 years. Then after 30 years, this dump site will be handed over to city of Harare as it is. So whatever we're doing it at the site is going to be handed over to the city of Harare after 30 years, or we can continue again.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is on insurance. Does the project carry environmental liability insurance, climate-related disasters? And what is the coverage limit if there is? And the second one is your scope, you have covered Harare in the local authorities, and how many are you in the process of covering and ensuring that this project can mushroom right through the country? And by what year do you have targets that by such a year you should really have committed networking with all local authorities so that this project is executed?
Yes, there is a cabinet decision which says we must start with Harare, then we replicate this same model to other cities. So we started with the Harare, so now we are now going to other cities. But as you mentioned before, there's a lot of politics everywhere. We already give a proposal, city of Buluwayo, 2 years ago, until now, no reply. But we have a proposal with city of Kwekwe. We are now in the final stages. So I think next month will be Kwekwe. But there's a decision for the cabinet to say we must replicate this model to other cities.
Well, Madam Chair, I don't get it when you say there are sticking points in other local authorities. What are those sticking points? Political sticking points? Administrative sticking points? And who are you talking to in these local authorities? Because remember, there is leadership in those local authorities. So are you parachuting? What form of mechanism are you using to stage your project in these local authorities?
in relation to the sticking points that you have just alluded to?
For the sticking point, for the case, especially for Blueyo, we've been chatting with the town clerk several times since last year. We even wrote a letter last year, but the letter was replied, I think, early this year, after a year. We engaged them through the Minister of Local Government, and even the Minister of Local Government wrote them a letter, and my team drove to Blueyo to engage them, to have a meeting, but there's nothing material comes from the city of Blueyo. So it's to do with administration issues or politics. We don't know, but we have the solution for the people of Blueyo to make sure they will live in a good environment.
Yes, because Madam Chair, there is the reason why I'm so very keen about this question. Maybe you are approaching the wrong people. Okay, you are approaching the wrong people because we are in charge of the Bulawayo City in terms of policy.
Correct.
Right? And I'm not aware what you're talking about. It's news to me. And Madam Chair, because we have got a similar problem in Bulawayo, at Country Park, in Ngozi Mine, it's a disaster to explode. So I can give you a year when we walk out of this meeting, I can at no cost at all, so that we can have a conversation. Free of charge, at no conversation. Then you will tell me when we come back and we invite you, then and see if you would have not really removed these obstacles that we are talking about. But otherwise, there is no obstacle at all. You are talking to the wrong people.
Yeah, maybe let me, it's not protecting Dr. Chair. Just that she came a little late to find out the history of them getting to where they are now. And we believe it's a similar situation in most of the cities. But now that we have something positive, which is there, he said a lot, it was a real struggle, resilience, fighting throughout. And I'm sure even you saw in the media, it was all negativity. So those same processes would apply to the other cities. But what we are saying to Honorable to Chair is that we are the people with oversight. We make the laws, and finally we are the oversight for the government, or lower house. We have an oversight responsibility. All we are saying now, from our introductions you had, I want you in Chinoi yesterday, Senator, he wants you in Bulawayo, and tomorrow, yeah, mine is yesterday. I think once, I hope we get a copy of the presentation, so that those who were not at the beginning, we can appreciate what you went through. But the message which will come from all of us now is, I want you in Chinoi yesterday, he wants you in Bulawayo tomorrow, and he Honorable wants you in Mashingo next week. So let's have the presentation. This is just the beginning. We're giving a detailed background of from before and up to where we are now. So it's in our court now to go ahead and make sure we do whatever has to be done, communicating behind the scenes. Yes, we are policymakers, but the people on the ground can be stubborn, or maybe they are not very interested, or even lack of knowledge, which is why we insisted in our committee that we want to get it from the horse's mouth, so that we can be ambassadors. Everybody else will be talking negative. But now that we've been taught and schooled, and this is why I know Vice Bridge also wants us to be there. The only person from Harare is one. She's comfortable, but we want Geo Pomona everywhere. Thank you.
I'm trying to look at our role as a committee in terms of climate change. Do you have any links with the EMA? Because they are responsible for the environment of this country in terms of the EMA Act. Do you have any links with the Ministry of Environment? Because at the end of the day, they are the ones who take issues to cabinet as a ministry. And somebody talked about what are they called? It's called carbon credits. It's their responsibility. My question is, as legislators, we want to see how we can come in to make the replication of your work into other areas legally through either change of law or add to what the current laws are like, because we all know EMA is in charge of the environment. We know that. But we must also look at the Urban Councils Act, because the Urban Councils Act is also a big, stumbling block, if I may use that word, going back to my colleague. All of us can go to Bulawayo tomorrow, but as long as we have not managed the Urban Councils Act and the EMA Act, they will still say, leave us alone. Just like we started in Harare, the city of Harare was saying, get away, until they brought in the issue of the PPPs, but it was almost like an imposition. It was not a simple thing. So we need to look at the laws on how we can assist to clean the country in terms of the laws, the EMA Act, the Urban Council Act, and so on and so on. Do you have any suggestions?
Yes, we are working together with EMA. EMA is a regulator. They come and inspect every stage at the Pomona Dam site. They are under Ministry of Environment. In terms of bylaws, government need to take decisive action, especially for the vendors. We clean the town in the morning. If during the evening we saw vendors roasting maize, bag in town, to remove them is a difficult. Right now, if you go to town, you saw Geo Pomona is doing tremendous work. Go during the night, you see vendors selling tomatoes, doing everything in the street. The work which has been done by Geo Pomona cannot be recognized by anyone because of the vendors. So we need the government to take decisive action to put those bylaws to make sure they are working. We need assistance from the parliament so that those laws can be implemented urgently. You can see people being arrested for littering. People must be removed from town, vendors. This is a sunshine city. This is a capital city. We don't want vendors in town. Every important guest come to Harare and you see vendors roasting maize on First Street. This is not normal. As Parliament, we are appealing to you to help us. Thank you.
Okay. Again, Chair. I'm sorry, I'm exploiting my background. The city of Salisbury, if I may go there, is bylaws that are as old as 1946. And no one has bothered to look at them and change them to suit the environment we are in today. No one. Therefore, like I asked it, are you working together with EMA? EMA can assist in coming up with bylaws. It's because it's only the local authorities that can come up with a bylaw, not Parliament.
So the issue of arresting powers,
No, hold on. I'm still going on.
Okay.
I'm still going on. It's the issue of bylaws which is a stumbling block that I can tell you. It's a stumbling block. And therefore, we need to look at those bylaws going backwards and modernizing those bylaws to suit the current environment. That's number one. Number two, for years, local authorities have been asking to have what are called municipal courts, which will give them powers to arrest and try people using their own bylaws. And that's not forthcoming. And this is why I spoke about the Ministry of Environment. They are the only ones who can take this issue to cabinet to expedite the decentralize or devolve the powers of arresting and trying offenders. Because at the moment, the police, the ZRP seems to have their heads also tied. So we will need to have a group of people working together with you to sanitize the town. I spoke about Emma. I didn't want to speak about the Minister of Local Government, because to me the Minister of Local Government is just as good as the local authority itself. We also need to look at how we can, that's why I was talking about the law. Can we come up with a situation where we have a municipal laws? Like for instance, if I can give you an example of London, there is a court, a municipal court, where offenders are arrested, they are taken to the municipal court and they are tried and charged and what happens. We want knowledge from you people to assist us to change these laws so that the work he was referring to becomes easier. Because unless and until you change certain pieces of legislation or amend certain pieces of legislation, we can talk and talk about removing vendors from the streets and what we may not be able to do it. Because we will require certain legislative powers that will make sure that we create an environment where you will be able to operate smoothly. It's only you who must tell us what it is that should be done. Like the president of Botswana said, government doesn't know it could be the stumbling block. But you people are coming to government and say, government, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing? Government doesn't know. Parliament here doesn't know. This is why I'm asking you these pertinent questions. What is it that you are suggesting should be done for us to be able to facilitate the good work that you are doing? And it's not for the city of Harare. It's for the world, because remember the ozone gases you were talking about, they are affecting the whole world. So we will need to come up with the correct legislation that will make life easy for all of us. But don't assume that we know.
Thank you. Maybe this is the purpose of this meeting. We said we want to be briefed, we want to know, so that we can be ambassadors even here at law. And I think the question is, it's a good question. We will need time for you after this engagement to synthesize what has been discussed and see where you need our support. Because it is also within our purview as legislators to come up with motions from ourselves, supporting whatever, like now we're talking about wasteland management. It's up to us to initiate, but for us to come up with the proper thing, we need proper briefing, proper details. So what it means is, it's a follow-up where we will need to hear from you how we can assist you to make sure that this project goes just not nationally, internationally. That's what we are looking at. So I'm sure through this discussion, we should engage. This is the opening and closing. We've just started. an initiative. No, we still need to give you more views of what we think, and then monitor digest, so and not digest. Motuto aiwa izvo motibatsira nazvo zvingaite zvakati tinyabatsira nesei pamwe taverifyawo kunoti zvamuri kutitaurira ndizvo, but we can see everyone is eager to make sure that the thing, your project works, and we all want it. Thank you. Senator Aspan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to add on to what Senator Botora had said. It's just like sending a mosquito to a malaria conference, because the people that we are supposed to send to get rid of those people who are roasting maize in public, they are the same people who've got people who are roasting for them. Most of them mapurisa vamwe hama dzenyu. Inini Senator ndiri kuno uku ndachotumira muzukuru wangu kuti apa chera nokoti pasipoti yakadai apa ndepedu apa kuti tiwedzere mari. So it's so difficult to control this thing. I don't know how we can go about it.
I've seen Dr. Nguwaya speaking passionately about the issue of vendors. But when you're introducing the issue of Geo Pomona, you saw a problem that the city of Harare didn't have capacity to collect waste. You didn't take the city of Harare to court. You offered a solution to their problem. So the issue is not about taking vendors and arresting them or chasing them away. Are the marketplaces enough for those vendors to go and occupy? So you as Geo Pomona, you are coming in, you have got a solution. Do we also have a solution to put them for marketplaces so that we absorb all the vendors out of the streets so that they are now having a decent life? Because they are not going there for fun. They are making ends meet. So we cannot just chase them away. Let us find a solution to the problem. So you as Geo Pomona, what do you have besides just wanting the vendors to be arrested? What other solution do you have for them? Are you going to employ all of them to your company? Or you are going to build marketplaces for them? Thank you.
Vendors, I repeat again, must be moved from town to make sure our city remains clean. It's not negotiable. City of Harare, if vendor markets all over, you can go to Bari, you go to district office, you go to Mebuleni, there's Musika. If you go to Budiro, there's Musika. If you go to Borojo, there's a place designated for vendors. What are they doing in town?
Practicing that we have empty marketplaces. That is say in Borojo there are empty marketplaces. Why don't they go and occupy that? Oh, they are full. We want you to come with a solution that we as Geo Pomona are going to contribute also in building marketplaces so that we see that you have played a part in removing them rather than just sending them. Some they are looking for school fees.
Okay, that's a good question. Geo Pomona does not provide land to the vendors. The land belongs to the city authorities. Our mandate is to make sure the city is clean. So if city of Harare have a place to place them, it's good for us. It's not our duty as a Geo Pomona to take them and place them to a vendor market.
Doctor, you are taking me back to the days you started this. I was looking at laws or bylaws, and I think the chair was very direct. You need to digest what we are talking about. And at some stage, you can come back or we come to you and say, we think this is the right solution. The issue of vending, if anyone has been to Victoria Station in London, you see people roasting to Piccadilly Station, you see people roasting to Baghdad. But they are not as bad as ours because of certain laws that are applied in the UK. And the chair said, let's talk here. You digest what we are saying. We also digest what you are saying. And you will probably come up with a solution. And I said, don't assume that we know. You remember what is the name of the Botswana president? Duma. He said business is very inactive in the sense that they are saying, government, what is it? Why are you not doing this? What? Government does not know that it is wrong. The councils also do not know that they are wrong. Because the town clerk of Nguwaya, he's just busy reading the urban council and the very old bylaws of Nguwaya. The mayor, remember, the mayor is not executive. The mayor goes to the staff of the city to say, is this feasible? Can we do this? And so on. And the staff of council will always say, don't worry, chef, don't worry. We will sort it, don't worry. We are pleading with you, if I may use that word. Don't assume we know. Don't also assume that government knows. I am saying, I asked it, how are you working with EMA? Study the EMA Act. How are you working with the local authorities? Study the Urban Councils Act. How are you working with the local government as a ministry and the Ministry of Environment and so on and so on? And pinpoint the loopholes that we can legislate for or against. To just say people get out of town. Grace Mugabe tried it, and she ended up saying, "Muda utivaende kupi batali ya mweshitanga." Muda utivaende kupi, muda utivaende hey, because we did not offer a solution to their problem. And I'm pleading with you, sit down with your staff, say, guys, what shall we do? When you go overseas, look at what they are doing overseas, how they have done it, and we can copy. Kukopa chako unopasa kwa watokuwa degree. Vamwana vati kuti vana doctor muno muparamende muno havana kunyora thesis takavanyorera. So I am saying, study what the issues, like the chair said. Look at the issues that we have raised, and also look how you are working with the other authorities, so that we can smoothen the playing ground. To make sure that Zimbabwe, not just Harare, Zimbabwe becomes a clean place. Go to Rwanda and see how clean it is. How have they done it? How have they done it? We tried to ban plastic in this country, but we never succeeded. But you will not see plastic in Rwanda. You won't see it. So these are issues that we are saying, look at them, bring them back to us, to assist in terms of legislation, and so that we will be able to smoothen the playing field for the benefit of Zimbabwe. Thank you.
In other words, what he is saying, and my colleagues are saying, will you commit, because it's a parliamentary access to you, will you commit before this committee to provide quarterly environmental performance reports so that we can make this evaluation that I'm talking about?
You can commit, and what we need, I think, new legislation, new laws, than to use the rotation law. New laws come from Parliament. That's why we are here. So you, as a member of the Parliament, you need to help us so that we come with new legislatives. Especially for bylaws, for waste management, so that we make our job easier to implement this project. But now it's difficult, especially for the issue of waste collection. We can clean, but vendors, they are coming during the night to fill the town.
Thank you, Chair. I think I want to focus on why we wanted them to come here. We've been issues then that we not get research. So let's focus on the panel digester. What has been discussed, get us the reports, we look at the reports, and I'm sure you all want to go and verify kuti zvataurwa nadoctor zviye netimu yavo ndizvo here. Tobatsirana sei, because tobatsirana sei nenyaya yapinda mudairo iyi. Isusu focus yedu hakusi kwairi. Focus yedu iri kuti nyaya dzeclimate change zviri kufamba sei, waste management kuti mugadzire energy mune maplans akaita sei, taapapi, ndo zvada kufocus on. But I think everybody is heard loud and clear kuti it's a sign of desperation kuti dofunga pamwe pauya muponesi anogona kutisolvera that problem. So let's work together so that in the end tokuda nezvatikuda, because they can equally say imi mugadzira yapa isi tinyazopedza basa redu zvakanaka, but we are saying we're a team. We want to learn, we want to know, we've known and learned quite a lot. Let's follow up soonest. And just for clarity, they are licensed by EMA, which means EMA, my reports, EY, because EMA is part of government, and from what we are hearing about the government, EMA must give us those reports. No licensing or that the authority at the moment which they operate under. I know at now, I'm sure when we come, we will get more and we will be even more fired. It's just that everyone is something. Honorable Shabango, Honorable Munge Mungula next week. Imagine you know all of us. I think I will ask one of our members to give us some vote of things, unless any other issue you want to raise with us from your team, chairman. Otherwise, I think it's quite informative. And I want to compliment a mother, Honorable Smart. You know, not many people could think about that, but that was the first issue. Such a pindama issues. Hakuna wana eri vari kuraswa ikoko. That's a mother. So